Hello everybody, this is En route, and today I have a very interesting topic for you. So, I had a lot of interest in politics, the way society runs, and wanting to be a part of fixing some of the broken systems we have in place. One of the biggest issues for women, for specifically women in the sex industry, is that they do not have rights, which means that there is a lot of gray area for those women to be abused, right? And if we consider how it wasn't even 100 years since women have actually had full autonomy and free will to maneuver in this world, we have to consider that there are some women that have a generational poverty mindset that is very hard to break. And when you don't allow for the prostitutes and the sexual workers to have rights, you allow for those curses and those programs to be perpetuated because they don't have a way to protect themselves, right? This is why so many porn stars and prostitutes and people in the sex industry die so early. They don't understand the spiritual ramifications of sleeping with all these people, and they also don't have the rights to protect themselves if these people wanted to do something to harm them. And as a woman, realizing the reality of this world and realizing the systems in place to trap women, I want to be a part of the change that fixes this. If I ever got elected into some kind of office, I would make sure that prostitutes or sexual workers or females who are in industry have full rights to prosecute against anyone that is abusing them. Because a lot of the times, men use the fact that they're doing this job as a way to say, oh, well, we're just going to throw you in jail. And then she gets thrown through the ringer, even though the prostitute, in her mind, she's just some 11-year-old girl that got thrown to shit. And people want to, well, you're an adult now, you should know better. But how could you know better if society doesn't allow you to know better? How could you know better when society hides all the information from you? How could you know better when society abuses you, knocks you down, and keeps you unaware of the reality of things? How could you know better, right? So they victim blame consistently, and they put these women in a place where they lose their lives most of the time. It's not, that's why there's always a new face, and that's why you always hear, oh, this porn star died, that porn star died. And while, yeah, it's drugs and things like that, it's that the energetic siphoning of the woman's life force that really kills her. These women are not nurtured, they're not taken care of, they're abused for most of the parts. And the fact that we have so many of these videos showing abuse towards women is a great indicator of how the male psychology works. And of course, it's not all men. Obviously, not all men are sadistic pieces of work, but if you look at the way men treat women, you can get a better look at their psychology and how they feel about women, and learn how to protect yourself as a woman. Now, prostitution and all that stuff, that is the oldest occupation in the book, all right? And men have paid for it for a millennia, and that probably will continue to pay for it for another millennia. So why not make it so that these women have rights to prosecute against people that do harm against them? And so, as a woman and as someone that wants to be a leader for women, I want to allow women to have a more safe way to get out of that industry without having, all of these complications of, oh, am I going to get arrested? Am I going to have a record? Am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? These women want freedom out. This is the only way they can survive, We live in a society where you have to have money to eat. You have to have money to survive. You have to have money for your car. And not everybody is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Not everybody is even born with just the average American household income, right? Not everybody, some people are just, they're born into poverty with absolutely nothing. And as somebody that has come from poverty, somebody that has been poor for the most of her life, I understand how women get sucked up into these things, especially women who have people in their lives that kind of mess with their psychology and bring them down even lower, right? So as women, it's our job to stop shaming each other for what we have to do to survive, and instead helping each other to get out of these cycles that create the generational depression in women's bloodlines. I can't even trace my bloodlines on my grandmother's side from both parents. I can only trace the men. That's very significant. And so we need to understand that this whole free will and autonomy thing, it's brand new for us. And I know in the 60s and the 70s, all the women wanted to be free and, assert their sexual things and whatever. But the missing piece is that they weren't informing you all of the spiritual repercussions of being intimate with people. And that's where a lot of our mothers and grandmothers got screwed over. They didn't realize they were attaching themselves to literal demons. And that is what made things even more complicated. While it is great to have freedom and autonomy, we have to use it responsibly as women. And we need to train each other to use it responsibly as women. And we have to talk to our daughters and explain to them why having a hot girl summer is not conducive to their health. And so if we actually talk to our other ladies and our younger ladies in a way that is caring and of concern and not of judgment, because there's no reason to judge in a world that's this messed up, all right? We have to stick together. We have to be stronger together, women. We need stronger sisterhoods. The jealousy, the men pinning us together for just because we had to fight over resources, those days are over. Us women need to band together and stop every single bit of abuse that is continuing to go on. And we need to, that's only here. We need to elevate society. If we're going to actually become better humans, what's the word? If we're going to evolve into a more efficient species, and the aliens are actually going to talk to us one day. That's kind of a joke, but we're still in a very barbaric, Stone Agey mindset. Well, yeah, we have all this technology. Psychologically, we're still very the same, And if we're actually going to evolve into something greater, the women have to change their psychology around a lot of things. And it's been purposely made this way, okay? So don't blame yourself for getting into something that you didn't know you were getting into. It's not like it's just out there for you to see. There's no manual book out here for us. These are us having to figure things out ourselves. And so if we communicate, we talk to each other, we spread the word, we can start educating our daughters and our grandchildren, our granddaughters, and all of our friends and other lady families to become more aware, safer, and have a more abundant, better life. And that's what we want. Everybody just wants to have a good life. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants family. Everybody wants community. No matter how much of a recluse you are, everybody wants love and to feel nourished and to feel safe around the people that they are. And everybody wants to be able to trust. And that is the worst thing, that a woman has to go and walk through this world pretty much not trusting anything. And I want to change that for us women. So that is my message for today. I love you guys, and I'm out.